What's up, everybody? It's Mr. Saturn again, and have another interview for you guys. This time with Zach Partridge.
How's it going?
It's going, dude. Thanks for taking this interview. I know I kind of lost touch a little bit there. Life, I know you can relate.
Yep, yep. I get the busyness and everything. So all good.
Appreciate it, brother. So yeah, man. I'm gonna jump right into it. Salt Lake City, dude. Your debut. Um, Man, it was a phenomenal card. Your fight was intense. It was very interesting. Prior to the fight, dude, in your weigh-ins, before they called your name so you can go do your face-off, what was going through your head? I got a hint of maybe a little bit of nervousness or something, or I mean, what went through your mind, Zach?
Man, I was ready to go. Like I've been waiting for to be able to fight at the Maverick Center. I haven't been able to fight in Salt Lake City for a long time. So I've been waiting for that opportunity and yeah, I mean just wanting to embrace all of it, embrace the moment, enjoyed it. Honestly, I really don't feel a ton of nerves um
Yeah,
until like an hour or two before I walk out. Like I'm
yeah,
pretty calm, and it's and with the nerves, it's more just like a nervous energy of excitement. Like I don't know, I make peace weeks in advance of anything can happen in there. Right, I see
I
it all
like
the
that.
time. So. I am fully aware. For those who don't know, so I'm a promoter. I run Fierce Fighting Championship here in Utah. We do shows every month. We did 13 cards last year. Like I sit cage side and watch people get knocked out, knock people out, submission. I see it all the time. I've come so accustomed to it on a completely different level than I think most are watching friends get knocked out and things like
Yeah,
that. So it is, but one of the things that I feel like is the most freeing about fighting is when you're at peace with all outcomes, you do everything you're supposed to prepare, and then just you can live with the outcome no matter what. And when you really believe that, it's a very freeing thing in fighting for me. So, I mean, I was excited. I think that if you felt any nerves or anything, I think it's just a nervous excitement to just I, I just wanted it to happen. I just wanted fight day to be there, and I felt that way for weeks.
that's good. That's a very good way to look at it. When you make peace with that it's going to happen no matter what, win or lose, you're going to be okay because you already know what's going to, what the end. It could go either way, but obviously you're going to have more confidence in yourselves.
Yeah, I mean that's the reality with fighting, right? Is like anybody who says they know exactly what's going to happen, or that oh, I know I'm going to win, or I guarantee I'm going to win. I mean, I was very confident in myself. I mean, it was awesome fight BKFC. A lot of my friends and stuff could bet on the fights, and I was like, yeah, man, like you feel free to put a healthy amount on me. I'm going to take
Yeah,
care of
that's right.
everybody, and I'm good with that extra pressure on my shoulders. Like I knew that something if I didn't go out and perform, like I'd have a lot of apologies and have to make a lot of things right. And I felt very good about it. But at the same time, anything can happen, especially in bare knuckle where, even just a cut over the eyebrow or something can
Yeah.
can can stop the fight. Or I mean, and we saw over and over in the first fight of the night, the Trevor Bradshaw fight, Trevor, they dropped each other four or five
Hmm.
times, like the back and forth can happen. And we saw in the fight before mine, Jordan Smith and Naldo Silva, like Jordan was the better fighter. Jordan dropped him six times, but all it took was one.
Just fun. Yeah.
So the better fighter doesn't always win. Anything can happen. It's
Yeah.
crazy. So you just prepare the best you can. Be ready for war. Believe in yourself. Bet on yourself, and
That's right.
and just make peace with all outcomes. And no matter what, I had this like really surreal moment a couple weeks out that I was going to fight on the biggest platform I've ever had the opportunity to fight on in my hometown. Sold a bunch of tickets. I think I was one of the top ticket sellers on the card. Um, I knew a lot of people were coming to watch, and no matter what happened, win, lose, get a viral knockout, get knocked out virally, whatever, I was still going to wake up the next day. It was still going to be Mother's Day. I still had to take care of my wife on Mother's Day, or try to at least. And I got four kids, four boys at home. They don't care. Like They think it's cool, but they don't care. Like my life wasn't going to change no matter what. And I feel like that, like understanding that was very very helpful.
That's a solid support, bro. Like it's not, like you said, it's nothing's gonna change. They're gonna love you unconditionally, win, lose, and that's damn. That's a good.
I mean, after the fight, my 9-year-old was like, "Did you win?" I was like, "Yeah," and he's like, "Cool. Look at my Pokemon cards." He didn't care, Like I'm just, I'm just dad, Like
Yeah,
it doesn't matter. So,
that's right.
uh, I just do this for all these fights and stuff. I do this for fun and for experience, and I had a great experience, so it's good.
I agree. I agree. So I'm gonna just touch a little bit on your fight. When you got your knockout, you guys were clinched. When you're clinched, you're both open. There's a side that's open. That's how you knocked him out. Did you feel it as you were clinching? Did you see, okay, he's holding me with this, or how did you? Because in the heat of the battle, I mean, I can only imagine. Maybe you can explain to me what's going through your mind. Are you guys thinking about like a strategy or something that you worked out in the gym, or what's going on through your mind?
So really interesting. So Jordan Smith that I just alluded to, he's been one of my coaches and mentors for a long time. And I'm a southpaw. He's a southpaw. Um, Besides my head coach Aldo Reggio, obviously I give all the credit to him who coached Jordan as well. But I spent a lot of time with Jordan, and at our gym we're all counter strikers. I mean, for the most part, So and Jordan counter did a lot of counter striking in his fight beautifully for a long time, and my game plan was to mimic a lot of that.
Nice.
And then I watched his whole fight of him counter strike, drop Naldo over and over and over, being
Yeah,
the better
that's
fighter,
right.
and then get caught with just one punch. I think he only got punched like 3 times in the whole fight. But all it took was one. And I was in the pod behind the curtain after, and I turned to my corner and my teammate Cole Faust, and I just said, "Dude, screw that. Like, we're not counter punching. We're going
We're
first." Like,
going okay.
I threw my whole game plan out the window as soon as I watched him get knocked out doing that. So that wasn't even my game plan. So right as the ref said fight, I launched an overhand and went after it. When he clinched me, I was trying to create space to because I knew that first overhand landed. And I was trying to create space to land. When he clinched me, I couldn't get away. I kind of put my arm up to make sure, like you said, you're open in the clinch,
Hmm.
right? And put my hands up because I didn't want to get caught with something. I saw a similar thing in Salt Lake City last September when they came, where a guy that's fought on my cards, he got knocked out in the clinch by just
Hmm.
a short hook. So I just remember being present and just being like, I'm in the clinch, like cover up. But I grapple a lot. Most of my MMA wins are by submissions. I am a
Nice.
grappler, and I felt very comfortable in the clinch. I felt strong in there, and I knew that if I can just get my head position in the right place, I could find his chin.
Okay.
Like I
Yeah.
I could I measure with my head.
Okay.
So where my head was, I knew where to put my head on my chest that I could come over the top of the left and find his chin, and I did.
Solid, solid, dude. Yeah. Damn. I can still hear myself scream. 'Cause, man, I don't know how my neighbors put up with me. When there's some phenomenal knockouts like yours, Zach, I'm freaking just screaming my head off, dude. And it sucks because yeah, we can celebrate the KO, but there's always somebody at the end of that KO. It sucks how he the way he fell was dramatic, not intentionally. It was just damn. It's like it was a nasty knockout. So
Yeah,
congratulations, dude. That was, jeez.
I mean that's the sport, right? And that's the
Yeah.
sport. That's the part of it is like it's be violent, right? I mean
Hmm.
that's what this sport is. That's what fighting is. It's pure competition. I have a ton of respect for Cody. We're cool after. Showed him much respect. He was my third opponent that I had. Um, I went through a bunch. I don't want to diminish, but I mean, I remember when Justin Gaethje fought James Vick, and he knocked him
Hmm.
out brutally. And he just got on the mic after, and he just said, this is a brutal sport, and that could have very well easily been me too. Like that's
Yeah.
what he was trying to do to me. So I mean, in that moment, he's trying to take my head off. I'm going to try and take his head
That's
off.
right.
I'm not doing anything to him that he isn't willing to do to me. And it could have been me, but it wasn't. And once the moment's over and the fight's off, you get it, you get the spoils of the victor, and
Yeah,
that's great. But then it's all for me. It's all sportsmanship and respect to him because he
yeah.
stepped in there. I saw a lot of people online talking smack about him and getting knocked out in 8 seconds and this and that. Dude, those guys aren't getting in there. They're
Mm-mm,
not doing it.
mm-mm. I
He
just had
showed that he showed he'll do it. I showed I'll do it. If you got something to say, get in there and do it.
get in there and do it. Yeah, I just had an
So
interview with somebody yesterday, and we were speaking about what makes a BKFC fighter special in the sense that compared to like boxing and MMA. And I said, well, it's two things that make a BKFC fighter great. I think that's what it was. It's having balls and heart, because not anybody can get into that BKFC ring and get touched up with no gloves. You're essentially fighting, but with a few rules. And I said, there's a lot of people who have their debut, and as soon as they get touched up once, they already know, nope, I'm done. I don't want nothing to do with this. I made it here, and that's it. Um, and a lot of people talk shit. They just don't know. They
man,
just
we
don't
saw
know.
it. We saw it in Salt Lake City last September when Salt Lake City came. There's some guys that were MMA fighters that they came over from the Utah scene that
Hmm.
they got punched once or twice, and
Yeah,
I mean I'm not going to say they quit, but
yeah,
you knew quickly they knew quickly they didn't
right
want to
away.
be in there,
Yeah,
right?
that's
And
right.
uh and so it was interesting was getting ready for this fight. Um I went to a couple boxing gyms and I got whooped by this kid. I I sparred with this kid from Venezuela. He's a 2-0 pro boxer here. Kid's a stud and he whooped me. And I just remember being like, man, like what am I doing? And my coach is like, he's just better than you. And the only places that I had any success in those were in the clinch and in those rounds with him. And boxing, and then that's like I was like, I'm very analytical. And as I sit back, I was like, dude, this isn't MMA and this isn't even boxing. Dude, this is like these are like the fights I got back in high school, like on the football
Yeah,
field after the
that's
game.
right.
You
Hmm.
know, like this isn't this is like, dude, throw all that out there. It's me versus you with my bare knuckles, and like
That's it.
we're
Yeah.
we're we're fighting. Like this isn't it is. It's different, like when those gloves come off, there's an element of sport and things like this. I feel like you said, like bare knuckle boxing, what makes it different is like the balls and heart. It's like
Hmm.
I know I won't quit. I don't have it in my DNA. My dad raised me to be uber competitive. And man, it doesn't matter if I'm playing Mario Kart on the Wii with my kids, uh, tiddlywinks or whatever, dude. Like, I'm coming to win. Like, I, there's no quit in my DNA, and that right there is what gave me a lot of mental peace and clarity
Hmm.
going in there because you watch BKFC and you see those guys that they get hit and they don't like it
Yeah.
and they quit on themselves, and I'm like, well, I don't have to worry about that because like I don't have that in me. There isn't anybody that in the room, like I can get beat up all I want. I I I won't quit. So that's a big part of this sport, and it's what I enjoyed about the experience.
Yeah, yeah. I'm glad you said that, dude. I'm gonna clip that out. That was cool. That would get a cool little shout out, so you can get you another fight right away. How you feeling? I mean, it was. You look good. I mean, how you feeling?
Good, man. Like I'm great. I mean, the craziest. So I'm 36 years old. I'm not the oldest in the world, but I'm not super young either. So
I can relate.
I actually tweaked my back, like almost threw it out in the back when I started my warm up, and
Hmm.
that freaked me out for a sec. About an hour before I was supposed to walk, I was laying on the ground with a freaking massage gun with my coach trying to you know get that muscle to release. So that was a nice little experience. But all that being said, dude, I'm good. I'm back training. I have a jujitsu tournament here in Salt Lake City, June 28th. I'm planning on fighting MMA August 23rd down in St. George, Utah. where I've had my last three MMA fights. And from what I heard from BKFC, Mr. Feldman and the staff is they want to come back to Salt Lake City before the end of the year.
Nice.
So I told that man I'm in the room 6 days a week. I'm I'm training all the time. I'm always in shape. I walk around 190, 91 pounds, so I can always make 185. I can get down to 175 if they need with a little bit of notice. But I'm always down. So like if they have something sooner and the money's right and the opponent's right, they can hit up my
They
manager and
can
I'm
get it. They can
I'm
get
I'm
it.
I'm easy to find, my man. Like I mean, and I know where I belong in these sports too. I don't have any delusions of thinking that I'm this killer or this whatever. Like, man, I train with killers. I
Yeah.
I watch them all the time. Mike Jones, who's on the card,
Yep.
uh, he's fought for on my show and held our 185 pro title and dude, that I mean, shout out to Mike. Like, I think he's going to be the BKFC 185 champ. Like, respect to champ now, Josh Dyer, who's the main event on that card. He did great, but I mean, respectfully, like, I've sparred with Mike and I've watched him fight, and you guys have seen him a couple times now at BKFC. Like,
Mhm.
Mike can get that belt, and I'm in that class, and I know where I stack, so it's not like I'm dilute, but like I said. I'm just here for a good time. So man, if they need somebody to step in and go somewhere else, I'm down to fight anywhere in the world. But anytime they come to Salt Lake City, I I think I am what BKFC wants. I'll sell
Yeah.
tickets, I bring eyeballs, and I'll fight with heart, and I'll try and take heads off.
I like the way you think, dude. That's solid, bro. I liked it. I like it. Good shit, dude. Um. So you mentioned your promotion, dude.
Yeah.
Uh, how did you? Okay, obviously you're a fighter yourself, but how did you transition in your life into having your promotion and running it yourself? Or can you
So
tell us the backstory?
Yeah, so man, so when I signed up at my MMA gym about 8 years ago. I was 270 pounds and I
Oh
just needed
God.
something to get back into shape. Like you can see it, I mean, like whatever. I don't have the chiseled six pack like some of those guys, but like, dude, I was a heavy guy for a while and I found MMA to get back in shape. I again very realistically getting into this world at 28 years old. Yeah, I won an amateur title. That's cool. I just made my pro debut last year in MMA. That's cool, but it's like I know that it's like I'm not going to the UFC. When I started too, like BKFC wasn't around, so it's like
Mhm.
I didn't really have any like viable options of making like a career out of this by any means. But so I started a podcast with a buddy, and we did an MMA podcast for a while, and that turned into I was fighting for this smaller regional show here that highlights more amateurs. And then there's a Fierce Fighting Championship is the show that has more pros on the card. And when they were coming back, I was supposed to be on a card, and then COVID happened. And then when they were coming back, um, I didn't work out for me to be on the card. And they asked me to be on the broadcast for the pay per view. So I was the color commentator
Mhm.
for them, and
That's right.
did that for a few shows, and then that turned into, hey, I want to learn the business, like I want to get into the business side. So he helped me start matchmaking a couple of fights, and so I was doing well with that, and I kept pitching him, the owner of Fierce, Cody Bunderson. I kept pitching him kind of my ideas, and finally I was like, dude, I kind of want to start my own show. I'm not trying to like go against you or like like MMA shows naturally are kind of territorial,
Mhm.
and it's pretty, it's a cutthroat business in the fight game. And to his credit, he was like, you're welcome to do whatever and like all good, but he's like, dude, you have a passion and a love for this that I can't put into it what it needs. Like, come run my show. And
Nice.
so me and my other business partner that we were thinking about starting our own show or doing something else. Maybe we even looked at like potentially boxing. There's not a great boxing promotion here in Utah. But I wanted to get into the promotion side of things, and he gave me the keys to the Ferrari, and we went and we started rocking and rolling, it went from doing like 4 or 5 shows a year to now, like I said, last year we did 13, and we're on track to do another 13 this year.
I'm gonna get your promotion info after the interview so I can tune in. I'd love to support. I love
Absolutely
the
appreciate it.
business. Um, Sean Wheelock had uh, a referee slash judge seminar that I attended,
Oh, cool.
and I'm super interested in being a judge one day, hopefully for BKFC. So
Oh,
I got
sweet.
through everything I needed to get through, so I can get my officials handbook, and I can start shadowing a lot of the referees here in the local scene. I'm in California.
Okay.
So I'm glad I'm doing this interview with you. I'm glad we're getting to know your a little background on your promotion. You also mentioned that you're an entrepreneur, dude. You've had quite a few businesses, man. You're 36. I'm gonna be 38 this year, so I'm not only interviewing you, I'm listening. Trying to take notes now, brother. So can you tell us how? Let's start with how you started, even your first business. How'd you get into your first business?
Well, yeah, I mean, I've always been the type like I just like I like to do my own thing, man. Like I honestly I'm very grateful. I had a pretty good job coming out of college when I first got married. Didn't finish college. I'm a college dropout, and but it's honestly it's because like I'm very much a type like if I don't see the point in doing something, like I can't do it. Like I can't. I'm not motivated by some authority figure telling me I need to do something. That doesn't cut it for me. So having a bunch of college professors telling me what I need to learn on a bunch of stuff that I'm sorry, but I just don't think it's helpful. I think college is a freaking scam for the most part. Unless you want to go be a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer or something that you need that. But the whole model of, go tens of thousands or sometimes hundreds of
Yeah.
thousands in student loan debts. Like, I'm like, this is just a scam, just to get a business administration degree that then it's not like a business administration degree. I'm sorry. I don't think they're that valuable. I think they just get you in the door and you're going to start as an entry level salesperson. And if you work hard, you'll move your way up. If you don't, you don't, and you don't need a degree for that. So, anyways, so I had a problem. I love dogs. Me and my wife, our whole marriage, uh, almost 16 years. In August will be 16 years. We've always had at least 2 dogs, 2 to 4 dogs the whole time. And our very first dog he was like one of those little wiener dogs, and he was always getting out under our fence. And I was looking for a solution, and there wasn't any great options here in Utah for electronic dog fences. There was a couple companies, but um, I thought because there wasn't enough competition, they were highly overpriced and whatever. So I did some research and I bought a franchise to do electronic dog fences, and I did that. It's like self-taught business entrepreneurial stuff. Uh, Made a bunch of mistakes, learned from them. Had a buddy tell me he wanted to get into a car detailing business, sold my dog fence business, started a mobile car detailing business. Um, yeah, I I've done a handful of businesses, but I mean the main ones of his electronic dog fence to car detailing business to and technically I still own 50% of that car detailing business, but most of my efforts obviously goes towards Fierce Fighting Championship in our promotion. So I was an insurance agent, my own home auto and life insurance agency for about 5.5, 6 years. While I was doing all my fighting stuff and getting into fighting, that was about the same time that I started I sold my brokerage a year ago, this month in May, to go all in with Fierce. So yeah, that's that's my backstory.
That's, I mean, I'm a late. I don't like using that phrase. Feel it's a little too childish, but I'm a late bloomer. So a lot of my younger years, I kind of just fucking wasted away. But I the reason I ask is because I want to I want to know if I have the right mentality for what I'm trying to do, my goals and stuff. So hearing you and saying that if I don't see it's gonna go nowhere, I'm not gonna waste my time. It's like, and then not and having somebody telling you where you got to do what to do. I'm kind of the same way. I like doing these interviews. I wanted to go as I'm gonna try to push it as far as I can. I enjoy talking to you guys, so I appreciate you telling me that your your little
Dude, it's
backstory. Of that.
dude, every life's hard, man. Like for everybody, life's hard. Choose your heart. What do you want it to be? Like for me,
I
like
like that.
like what like for me, it was like, dude, life was hard when I was 270 pounds and fat, and freaking it sucked, man. And it was hard. You like there's hard things, you know it's hard, not like being able to do physical activities and stuff because you're overweight. Knees and back hurt because you're overweight. That's hard. So I made the decision to I chose the hard to put into working hard and getting back in shape. Like I played football, baseball, basketball all through high school, and then like get out of shape. Like so, like yeah, just choose your hard, man, and your career path and everything. Um, same deal. Choose your hard. Like people think they want to be entrepreneurs, dude. Freaking running an MMA promotion, man. Like people are like, "Oh, that's so cool, dude." It's exhausting. I'm on the phone 24/7. My main event dropped out on my own fight week for the
Fuck.
next week. So I fought May 10th. May 16th we had a full MMA card. May 17th we had a full kickboxing Muay Thai card. We had a super fight weekend that we ran. And my main event for my MMA card dropped out during my fight week. I spent my whole time cutting weight trying to matchmake. I was in the bathtub cutting weight, matchmaking Friday morning before weigh-ins. Like it never turns off. I'm on. I have this man. I didn't even get to enjoy my knockout. As soon as I knocked it out, went and said hi to everybody in the arena. Said thank you for coming. Sunday morning, Mother's Day, I was matchmaking, trying to find a new main event for my show the next Friday night. Like it's a grind. When I say it's a grind, it's a grind. There's like dude, my days, Monday through Saturday, my days, 3 days a week, I start training people at my gym at 6 a.m. 3 days a week. And I'm working as doing the training, my own training, training others, and running the fear stuff till 10, 11 p.m.
Jeez, dude.
most days a week. So you want to be an entrepreneur? Like that's hard too. Like I'm not saying this to you, like but
No,
like
no, yeah, of course. For the
it's it's
audience,
it's
brother.
for
For the
every
audience.
it's for everybody. If you want something bigger, you have to sacrifice more. And I'm 36 years old, and I've been grinding for 15 years, 60 to 80 hour work weeks, my whole life. I don't regret a second of it because at least I'm building something for myself and my family. That's how I view it. But there's a lot of people they're not wired that way and they want their
Yeah,
9 to 5 and they want their 401k and their health benefits and all that. That's a great path too. But there's hard with that too. Having to work with crappy coworkers, crappy bosses, crappy schedule, not having control over that stuff. Like I'd rather work more hours and work hard and not have a guaranteed money and work for everything I have. That's how I feel about it. There's a lot of people though, they can't operate not knowing when their next paycheck's going to be or whatever. Like choose your hard, man. Like whatever you want to do, whatever makes you happy. If you want to do these podcasts and you want to get into judging and that's what you want to do, there's a lot of hard with that and growing that, but at least you're doing something you love and what you want to do,
definitely.
not being told what to do. Like, man, if I don't want to work with somebody, I just don't work with them anymore. Like I don't have a boss telling me you have to work with this person. So
Solid, dude. Solid. Okay, one last thing on the subject. I'd appreciate if you could give some advice to my buddy. His name is Chase. He's a cool supporter of the things I do. He's a good friend. He just started his own trucking business, and if you could, he went from construction, and he's like, you know what, just like I don't want somebody telling me what to do. I want to do my own thing. I want to be a boss, whatever. If you could give some solid advice, I hear him. He talks to me. He has ups and downs. What kind of advice could you give him some solid advice? And then I'll try
what
to.
kind of trucking business? Like moving people?
They no, they haul. He hauls like he drives to construction sites. They'll like a dump truck essentially for like a debris, construction debris, and then goes and dumps them. So he's constantly driving.
Garbage removal.
I guess, yeah, yeah.
Kinda,
So it's like
yeah.
yeah, like cement
One,
stuff, like they all that all that other
one,
construction.
know your numbers. Get your finances in order and know your numbers. Get an accountant that makes sure that you don't get screwed over by taxes with the IRS. You got to do those. Do everything right. Do everything right. It's expensive and it sucks, but that's why people don't understand. When people don't know why the cost of everything's going up, it's because the business's costs are going up. Insurance rates are going up. So make sure you have your accounting, your insurance, your LLC, your S corp. You have an accountant. You have all those things lined up. Okay, that will make sure you get off on the right foot, so that you, when you get going and you start making money, you don't have to go backwards and fix all those things. That's what most entrepreneurs screw up in the beginning. I made that mistake, right? So you get all your affairs in order before you start, then you start, so when you're making money, you can start enjoying the money. One, two, build good relationships and referrals. Find other people that are successful. Other construction companies are successful. You bit those aren't just clients. You make them your friends. You go do stuff with them. You buy them lunch. You go take care of them, because ultimately they're the ones that are going to feed you and feed your business. And you want to build long-lasting relationships, don't make them business relationships, make them true friendships. Work with people that you can work with and that won't screw you over. That's another thing. You screw people, somebody ever screws you over once, done. Go find a new relationship. They already showed who they are. Cut those ties. Move on to something else. You don't have to be in the business world. You don't have to. It doesn't matter how big the account is or how much it is. Once they screw you over once, if you let them get over on you and you let them take advantage of you once, they'll do it again. 100%. Don't put yourself in that situation. And man, embrace the grind, dude.
That's right.
You're sick, go to work. You don't feel good, go to work. The hardest thing to do in life is the necessary things that you don't want to do. That is the difference between people in entrepreneurship that make it and don't make it. When nobody's telling you you have to go do something and you don't want to do it, even though it's necessary, but nobody's making you and you don't do it, that's when businesses fail every time. You have to you have to be willing to do the necessary things, whether you like it or not, every single time. You have to go to work every day.
All right, I
That's what I
appreciate it.
got for you, buddy Chase.
All right, thanks. I appreciate that. All right. Get a little personal, brother. So you actually touched on a lot of things that I wanted to ask. You're a busy, busy dude. Um, I again, thanks for freaking hanging out with me for a little bit.
Yeah, man, sure.
Family life, brother. So you have 4 kids.
Yeah.
Do they train as well? Do they come in the gym, hang out with you, or?
My 13-year-old is he gets really into it whenever I'm fighting, like whenever I'm getting into fight camp or whatever, he gets a lot more into it. He recently started picking up kickboxing and jujitsu again a little bit. My 4-year-old, he turns 5 here in a few weeks. He he kind of just likes to do whatever the 13-year-old does. And
Mhm.
so he kind of just follows along. He's getting into jujitsu a little bit and kickboxing a little bit. My 9-year-old, the middle one that I skipped over, he's way more into like Pokemon and anime
Nice.
and a little bit into fighting, but not as much. Like again, like man, he comes to my fights. He didn't come to my bare knuckle fight. Just the oldest came with my wife. But he like when he comes to the fights, like he wants to bring his Nintendo Switch and Pokemon cards. Like he doesn't want to watch the fights. He doesn't care. So that's just whatever. And then I have a 2-year-old that's about to turn 3, all boys, here in a couple of weeks as well. And he likes it. He just doesn't get it yet. But so yeah, 2 of them kind of train, but I also don't make them either. I I want them to all pick their own path. When they want to
Okay.
do it, I fully support it. Um, but if they don't want to go, I mean, I don't push it by any means.
Okay. When you finally get a day off? What's a nice family day look like for you guys?
I don't get days off, man. I'm dead
Oh,
serious. Like I'm
I believe
serious.
it.
Like
I believe it.
dude, you're catching me. I mean, this morning was wake up, yard work, and then went to jujitsu, went to my own jujitsu training, came home, went over to my parents' house, helped them with their yard work, and me and my oldest son, and then came here to go do this, and hopefully, like I mean, our days off, our time off is generally just Saturday evenings, and we watch UFC. Like
That's right.
that's what I do every pretty much every week, and then Sundays, we're members of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter Day Saints, Mormons.
Mm,
So we get up, we go to church,
go do, yeah, that's right.
we hang out, we go to church every week. We hang out with family, go do family dinners or whatever. We'll barbecue and just kind of relax and Sunday's about it. Sundays is just a lot of relaxing. So, but Monday through
Solid,
Saturday is grind, grind, grind.
solid, dude. That it's very interesting. I had I've had and um hung out with a lot of different with actual Mormon people, Mormon of the
Oh
Mormon
yeah,
faith. Excuse me. I had a bunch of friends, and it's very interesting. The a lot, if not everybody that I've came into contact are I don't know how it's going to sound. They're pretty successful. I don't know if it's just a blessing or I want to dive too much into it, but um, I actually got to go to the church as well on Sundays and hung
cool,
out with the young adults and stuff like that. It's very interesting.
cool.
Do you feel that your faith also contributes to your grind? Because
Yeah.
you guys have a really good structure and stuff. Like there's a
So yeah, so I mean, to talk on that, I think a lot of one of the misconceptions with Mormons is like do's and don'ts, right? You're not allowed to do this, you aren't allowed to do that, whatever. Um, I more view it as what I just kind of touched on, doing hard things that are necessary. You know, I mean, I view it as discipline. I view it as, and when you have discipline, you can have work ethic, and not to say that you can't, but when you have those things, when you have things that are structured, the way that the LDS faith um, practicing members have, I think it creates a discipline and a work ethic
yeah,
that that's valuable, that translates into other areas of life, professional careers and things like that. Um, I think having I think especially today in 2025, I'm watching it with my son. I mean, I just had this conversation with my parents. My parents just came home from a mission this last
nice.
Tuesday. They were gone for 18 months in Croatia. So we're over at their house doing yard work, and I'm telling them to have my 13-year-old do stuff because I think most kids are lazy nowadays. And I don't want my boys to be like that. I think that work ethic and everything, I think that comes from a lot of the foundational principles that come from religion and our church and many other religions.
Yeah, right.
I think you know, I think that there's a lot of I think there are a lot of flaws in organized religion in general, and I don't think that the LDS Church is immune to some of those flaws. It's you know, the people that run the church definitely aren't perfect,
Yeah,
um, or that run areas of the church. I have a lot of love and respect for the leaders of those of churches and all churches for the time and sacrifices, but
yeah,
you know, all men do make mistakes, and so but the principles and the actual doctrine and the teachings and scriptures and stuff, I think that those are principles that are valuable, and when you apply them to other things in your life, will bring a lot of success in other parts of your life.
cool, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate you opening up a little bit on that. Religion, politics is a touchy subject, so I like talking about it, but I try to kind of maneuver it in a way where it might not get out of control. Well, it won't get out of control. So,
Yeah, I
uh,
mean, like I said, I have respect for all religions and all practicing members of all faiths. I think it's all
yeah,
good, and I think having some sort of religion as a moral compass is a good thing for your person and your personal peace. And
right.
I think, I yeah, I think it relates well to everyday life and honestly, including fighting.
hmm I agree. Shout out to your church and the church in El Centro, California.
Cool.
A lot of great people there who showed me what it is to be a good person and uh, help
Glad
me
you had a
out
good
back in
experience.
those days. Yeah, very great experience. So shout out to Mr. and Mrs. Banks. You guys are amazing. Anyways, all right. I'm gonna wind it down a little bit for you because I know you're a busy man. Real quick, brother. I'm assuming you're probably gonna catch the UFC fight night coming up at 3:30.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, I like watching the fight. It's decompress time, you know, like me and my
Yeah,
boys. My oldest son, we play UFC 5 a lot still. Like that's kind of, you say what I like to do in
so
my
hard.
downtime. Like we play a lot of UFC 5
Yeah. Are you guys on
and
PlayStation?
Xbox, man. Xbox for life. I'm an Xbox guy. I've been an
Whatever,
Xbox guy
dude.
forever.
Whatever.
But it's all good. If you want to get it on the sticks, we can hop online too.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, I'll Madden, college
It's a cool
football,
game.
whatever.
I don't. Well, see, I try getting into sports games, dude, but it's too much, man. Like I tried the basketball game once years back, and it's
Okay.
like I feel like I'm playing Street Fighter again, but with more freaking movements to get the little pivots and everything. It's like I don't have time to learn all this stuff because when I get invested in a game, I learn it inside and out, dude. So I can be a gamer too. So we might have to get it one of these days.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Let's do it. I dig it. But yeah, I have a passion for sports. I've been coaching sports. I coached high school football before I got into this. I love all sports. So yeah, it's Xbox. We'll watch some. Yeah, we'll watch some UFC tonight. Play some Xbox. Have some
Nice.
dinner. Yeah,
Who
so
do you
it'll be
who
good.
do you have who do you have for the main event for the Blanchfield and Barber fight?
Well, I really like Blanchfield and
Me
her
too.
grappling and her style. Um, I kind of like that Macy Barber. I thought she very accurately broke down Blanchfield though, and saying she's a little bit one dimensional, and that if I could stop the wrestling, I'm more well rounded and can capitalize. I hated that Macy missed weight though. So when fighters miss weight like that. Dude, you can't run your mouth and miss weight. You
Yeah,
can't do it. And
that's
Mason's been running her mouth and then she misses weight. So low key, I think Blanchfield's probably gonna smash.
yeah.
Probably gets a. I'm as a betting man that I am. I do enjoy
You
making
dabble.
some wagers. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go Blanchfield by decision.
Okay, all right. Yeah, the missing weight thing, man. I feel it's kind of disrespectful to your opponent. You know, it's like, come on, man. We're both here putting in the work, and but that could be for numerous reasons. I like them both equally. But yeah, she did miss weight. I just hope that won't make a difference. But I'm gonna go for Macy Barber.
That's
Maybe
fair. I mean, in Blanchfield, dude, she's like minus. I'm looking at it right now.
no.
She's like minus 260 on the book that I'm looking at. So
Okay.
I mean, Macy's the value, right? Like I
Yes.
think Macy is a 2-1 underdog. That's some pretty good value there. But yeah, I think Blanchfield by decision's a pretty safe bet there.
I'm gonna message you through when the fight starts. So start talking shit.
Let's do it. Let's do it, dude. Who else?
uh,
Who else you got on the card?
I haven't even paid attention, dude.
Okay. All right. I'll give you my rundown on what I like.
Run it. Go
All
ahead.
right. Okay. Jordan Levitt, I've called fights with him at Fierce Fighting Championship. He was a guest co person. He's fighting Kurt
Hollabog.
Holobach.
Hollabog. Yeah.
Yeah. Holobach's super tough,
Yeah.
but Jordan's grappling is sick,
I
and
got
I
Jordan
think
too.
I think once he gets it to the ground, I really like Jordan. Macy Chiasson is only a minus 135. I think she should be a lot bigger favorite. I think Macy is a dark horse to make a title run here in the next 12 to 18
I
months.
agree. I
So
agree.
I really love Macy. Her size and length being 5'10 and her striking. Um, dude, she's a beast. I love Macy on that one. And then Zach Reese, I think, knocks out Tordovic. Zach Reese by knockout. And then and Dustin Jacoby by knockout.
That's right. I
And
got him
then
too.
I cannot believe that Gamera is only a minus 155 against Klein. Klein is a very good grappler, and Gamera is just a way better version of what Klein is. And I think Gamera absolutely smashes Klein for 3 rounds. How
Hey,
about
I
that?
like that. I like that. I agree. I agree. Um, and what about for the prelims? Is it Rafael Filo and Alan Nascimento?
Yeah, I think that's a really fun fight. I actually like Philo a little bit as the underdog.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I got
It's a coin flip. It's a coin flip,
yeah,
but I
yeah.
like Philo. I like his power. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite UFC fighter of all time?
I mean, dude, it's hard, right? So
You can be biased, bro. You can be biased. Like just
I got into the UFC. I got into the UFC with the Conor McGregor hype. That's what got me in. I mean, you want to talk about one of the cool. So I got to meet Conor McGregor. So my fight week. So I fought MMA. I got my first pro win in February. My fight week, Conor McGregor came to the Bucked Up store 5 minutes from my house, and me and my son got to go meet him
nice.
and go meet Conor. And then I go down. go down later that week, get my first pro win. Got a 50-second. I dropped him and got a 50-second guillotine choke
Hell yeah,
and
congrats.
choked him, and that was cool. And then I get the 8-second knockout, and I get Conor McGregor to retweet my knockout at
Shout out.
BKFC. So that was cool. Um, so I loved Connor, but it's like I really wish I like I liked active Connor, like
Yeah.
I want to see him fight. So, and I understand why he does it. That's the other thing. Like I know the business, being in the promotion seat and being in the promoter's hat, I think I have a little bit better perspective than most on why he isn't fighting. So fair play to him. I just wish that they would just come out and kind of be a little bit more forthright on why he isn't fighting, rather than. But whatever. So Connor, huge Justin Gaethje fan. I named it Dog Gaethje.
Mm.
I love Justin Gaethje. Ilya Taporia, huge fan of his.
Yeah.
I love his style. I think he's the boogeyman at 155. I think he would have beat Islam. I think he's going to smash Charles. Love Charles,
Yeah.
but I
Me
hate to
too.
say it, but I think Ilya's. I think he's the problem, and
Okay.
he is the next generation. And then Max Holloway. Love Max. Those are kind of my
Solid.
guys.
Solid picks, dude. Real quick, dude. There's villain McGregor and there's hero McGregor. I say
Yeah.
humble McGregor and the heel McGregor. Who do
Dude,
you?
he was he was he was so cool to me and my son when we met him though. Like he
Okay.
was so cool to him. And like we are big McGregor fan. Like, but dude, my son had his hair like Connor forever. He had the shave size with the thing. So like I love I love like old school McGregor, like featherweight McGregor,
Yeah.
and the guy that beat Eddie Alvarez and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, that rise I think will go unmatched forever. Um, I think, dude, I don't even mind Villain McGregor. I, dude,
You're a fan.
every,
You're a fan.
yeah, well, dude, I'm a fan of activity. I mean,
That's right.
look, real talk on what people think Connor got to where he got because of talking smack constantly, right?
Hmm.
Kind of. But really what got him where he was is he main evented 4 pay-per-views in a year.
Yeah, he's
When
an
you
animal. Yeah.
when you are fighting, when you're relevant and what Alex Bejeda just proved it. He barely speak English. He was the face of the UFC after he main evented four
Yeah.
times in a year,
Yeah.
right?
He came through
That's
for UFC. Yeah.
activity is king. When you have fighters that only fight once or twice a year, we can get into it. We can do a whole nother podcast on this.
I
I can get
know.
into a whole nother podcast on this.
Oh
When you have
god.
these fighters that are complaining about fighter pay that only fight twice a year, how long is a fight camp? 8 weeks? 10 weeks? You fight twice a year, that's 20 weeks. What are you doing the other 32 weeks out of the year?
Yeah. Yeah.
What are you doing?
That question's never asked, dude. That's great. That's great. I love it.
Like, you want to talk about like Kevin Holland, of all the people that have figured it out, it's Kevin freaking Holland. You get through your 4 fight deal, then guess what? You get a raise and you get another 4 fight deal. And then you do that, you get another raise. His whole goal is to get through his contract as fast as possible so that he can get another raise and so he can keep getting paid.
Yeah.
Like, if you really want to be a fighter and make the life of a fighter, you have to be active. You have to be a dog. And then you make yourself relevant. And then you can make a lot of money fighting. And it gives you a platform for a myriad of other opportunities,
That's right.
endorsements, stuff like that. Like, activity is king. And when Connor was active, he was the king. When Alex Bejeda was active, he's the king. And like, ironically, it's like Kevin Holland he had a string of a lot of losses, and people are like,
Yeah.
"Eh,
Yeah.
whatever." But guess what? He's always going to be valuable to the promotion, and he's
Yeah.
always going to get paid because
Yeah.
he's active.
That's right. That's right. He's a good fighter. That's right. Trailblazer, man. All right. I think we're in agreement that John Jones is fucking up. He's just. I mean, what? He did fight not long ago. But what are your
Right?
thoughts on John Jones and Tom Aspinall?
So this is what I think is happening. I think
Please.
ESPN is in a is in contracts. They did this last time when they went from Fox to ESPN. They're in contract negotiation for a new TV deal. It sounds like that they're going to go to Netflix, and I think they are waiting for the Netflix deal to get finalized, and then we will get an announcement that John Jones versus Tom Aspinall will happen on the very first inaugural card
Interesting.
that's on Netflix. And I think so that they can get big ratings, big viewership, and make they don't the UFC, like, it's not a secret. They're not super happy with ESPN. ESPN's not happy with it. Like,
That's
dude,
right.
they're a married couple that's getting a divorce. Like,
Yeah.
they're not happy with each other.
Yeah.
Do you think the UFC is going to give ESPN the payday of John
Mm,
Jones versus Tom
mm.
Aspinall? Not a chance,
Okay.
dude. They're waiting for that's what's happening. They're waiting for the Netflix deal, and that's why Dana says it's close. It's going to happen. And Tom Aspinall is sitting there going like, yeah. I mean, dude, they're I think they all know what's going to happen, but like the UFC doesn't want to come out and say. I think it would be probably a breach of contract if they came out and it became public knowledge that, hey, um, we have a fight that's done,
We're just
but
waiting.
they're just waiting, dude. I mean, if I was in Dana White's seat, that's what I would do. I'm not, dude. I'm not giving ESPN that payday. I'm giving it to my new partners. I giving it to my
Yeah.
new partners, Netflix, that they're supposedly going to pay them like $3 billion a year to be on Netflix.
That's fucking crazy, dude. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
like what? I mean, why else?
Yeah.
It's literally the fight. And John is, dude. John is so cerebral and he's so smart that he understand. I think he understands what's going, and so he just keeps teasing everybody. Because what is he doing by sitting there going, "I don't care, strip me, like whatever. I'm the GOAT. I don't need this fight." He's making everybody beg for it.
Yeah. The
He's
attention. That's
making everybody beg for it. And the more he says, I don't know. Maybe I wanted to fight Alex. Alex loses. I don't know. Maybe I'll just retire. Maybe I'll do that, whatever. Dude, all he's doing is making people want him more.
he's
And when
promoting
people
himself.
want,
Yeah.
yeah, he's promoting, he's winning.
Hmm. I
That
appreciate that, dude. Yeah.
when John Jones will fight will fight if John Jones was actually considering not fighting Tom Aspinall, the one thing that would make him fight it is everybody stop talking about John Jones.
That's right. Okay. I
He's
agree.
keeping himself relevant while being inactive. John Jones to me is one of the biggest tragedies in the entirety of sports because he's taken so many long layoffs due to picograms or whatever else. But the reality is, he is the greatest competitor to ever step foot in the
Agreed.
UFC octagon. And Tom Aspinall doesn't change his legacy if he beats him, doesn't change him if not. But if he beats Tom Aspinall and then Tom Aspinall goes on to be exactly what we think he is, it just cements him as the GOAT. If he loses to him, it really doesn't change much because Tom's going to get him at the end of his career while Tom's just beginning his run and his ascension. Like they're just waiting. But I mean, John is doing what he should be doing. He's keeping himself relevant while I believe that the UFC are just waiting for the Netflix deal to finalize and to put him on the first Netflix card.
Solid information, dude.
That's what I think. I'm
No,
not reporting. I don't have any
no,
insight. I'm not, but that's what I think's going on.
no. I get it. I appreciate that, but it's just for the past few months, I've kind of been on that on the bandwagon over here talking shit, But you just put it into perspective, and it's good because I got to hear your opinion, and it clicks. It makes fucking sense. It's a good theory. Let's just go with that. I like it. So
Yeah.
you kind of changed my tune, and I do agree. John Jones, fuck, man, it's like he was created in a fucking in a lab, and he was just put together, so well. But I guess nobody's perfect.
Well, yes and no, but like you have to look at it as like, dude, he's the runt in his family. Yeah, I say this all the
Right.
time. You want to talk about martial artists, the difference between a martial artist and a fighter, right? Dude, he's a fighter. When elite athletes come out and fight, the martial artists struggle. We're Ilya Taporia and some of these guys is this new wave of elite athletes. He could have picked any other sport and been successful in many other sports, and he chose MMA. And all these, and you get these fighters that are elite athletes that become martial artists too. That's when you really have something. You have to remember his two older brothers. He grew up getting beat up by those guys. Those guys are
Yeah,
studs in the
bigger.
NFL. You know what I mean? He's the runt of his family. He's
Uh,
the smallest.
uh,
but he's still an elite athlete. So when you say he was created in a lab, he's just he's smart, dude.
Yeah,
His fight IQ and everything
yes,
is he's nasty.
yeah. He's put together pretty well. Like I can't deny it. He's always going to be cemented as a freaking like in the Mount Rushmore of the of history of fighters. I think John Jones is definitely going to be a has his face on that.
It just depends. It just depends on if you care if they were clean or not, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like my Mount Rushmore, I don't anybody that tested positive for any performance enhancing drugs or whatever, they're not on my Mount Rushmore. It's just the way it is.
I guess that's
So
understandable.
like I have Mighty Mouse, I have GSP, like I have those guys over him because like there's no speculations on those guys.
No, I agree. Yeah, it's just like maybe not to that extreme, but it's just not fair for your opponent. Like missing weight. Like, come on, what's going on? Um, all right, man. Well, I had a blast, dude. Fucking talking to you about all kinds of shit. Got to get to know you a little well, dude. Is there anybody you want to give any shout outs to, dude? Actually, before we do that, last question, dude. Or if you could give us any kind of advice, man, life advice. Maybe some kid who's gonna see this interview later on once you stack up a really nice record and BKFC. I can see you going far, bro. And some kid just happened to bump into this little interview and they're listening right now. What would you say to that kiddo?
Man, just work hard. Like there's no shortcuts in life. You want something, work hard. Like I wanted to be a professional athlete my entire life. I thought I was going to go when I was in junior high. I thought I was going to go to the NFL or something. Like I, I wanted to be a professional athlete, and when I got out of high school and that chapter of my life closed, when like realized like college football wasn't even going to happen, because my grades sucked. You know it. I just closed that part of my life. I'm got super out of shape, whatever. And then I found MMA and that fire Ben Moa, who was on the card. He's also one of my teammates. I cornered him for his first BKFC fight. That's part of the reason why I hopped on. I wanted to fight with him again. And I've been before my first fight. He was just like, "Dude, you played football, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." And Ben played in the NFL. Like Ben's a stud. He's the man. He's the human highlight reel here in Utah. And Ben told me, he's like, "You play football," and he goes, "Dude, you just got to find that dog in you again. Like you that mentality that you're playing on the field on Friday Night Lights. Like you just got to find that mentality. Like that dog is in you. Like you can see it sometimes. You just got to find that." And I really locked in with that. And it's like, man. And then I was like, and then it's just enjoy the journey, work hard. And now it's like, dude, I dreamed of being a professional athlete my whole life. I get that anybody can become a pro fighter, but I'm not just being a pro fighter. I'm finding success now in doing it. And I mean, I'm not, dude. I'm not the biggest. I'm not the strongest. I'm not the fastest, most athletic. I don't hit the hardest. I'm not the best at anything, but I'm in the gym 6 days a week working, like no and ifs or buts. 6 days a week, 52 weeks out of the year. I never miss the gym unless I'm hurt or like I have a serious family obligation. I do miss a lot of or go late to a lot of family party stuff like that. Like especially if I'm in camp, people know if I'm in like my wife, I couldn't do it without her. But my wife knows like when I'm in camp, like there's family dinners, like I'll be at the family dinner after training and after I shower. Like that's just the way it is. Like you got to make it a priority. If you want to make it, you got to put in the work. There's no shortcuts. Just work.
I appreciate that, man. Um, is there anything you want to say to anybody? Hopefully, you can share this with your family. Get some more
Yeah,
views and stuff. Anything you want to say
absolutely.
to anybody, and then maybe shout outs after.
Dude, shout out my yeah, shout out to everybody, my whole team at Fierce Fighting Championship. Like dude, I mean, watching what BKFC did in the production, like I said, I cornered Ben a couple years ago when they came, and then being a part of it, it actually improved a lot of things with our show and how we're doing it. I went back to our team and dude, I redid our contracts and how we're doing our promos and everything. Like we have this guy Blake Arulian that does all of our social media. You can follow fiercefightingchampionship.com or Fierce Fighting Championship on Instagram. But Blake Arulian runs our social media page. Dude, he's unreal at his job. He's on our regional show. He just got a crack at A1 Combat on Fight Pass last month. Hopefully, more opportunities for him there. But he looks up to Sean Waylick a lot, and talked about how great he is. I mean, the most professional broadcaster around. Like, give a shout out to, but Jackson and Jackson Hoops, our in-cage ring announcer, my whole team at Fierce Fighting Championship. Like, dude, you guys, if you guys like sports, like support the small regional MMA shows, like all of them, because they all need it. Because I mean, ultimately, all these guys you're seeing at BKFC, UFC, and stuff. That this is where they start. Like, become fans of these guys before they get on the big platform, and I promise it's going to be the ride's a lot more special. It's really cool. Mitch Ramirez, he's a UFC fighter from here in Utah. I was my third amateur MMA fight. He made his pro debut on, and so I mean I've followed him all the way. It's that much more special when they make it. So lock into your local MMA shows. If you don't have one, tune in to Fierce Fighting Championship. You're going to see a lot of talented guys that we have two UFC vets that hold pro belts for us. Like, you'll see a lot of guys and a lot of talented guys on their way up or trying to get back to the UFC.
Nice, dude. Well, I appreciate the time you took for this interview, man. And yeah, man.
Anytime.
All right. Well, thanks for everybody for tuning in. I am Mr. Saturn, and I have Zach Partridge here with you guys. Thank you for watching.
Thank you.